Hi friends, I am starting an experiment to grow peppers in Aerogarden harvest. This variety is called Fresno chili peppers. The Fresno chili pepper plants can grow up to 2.5 feet. Let's see if I can manage them in Aerogarden harvest under 1 feet. That's what an experiment is, right? Let's see. It is very straightforward to start this experiment. I am placing 2 seeds in each pod and starting with 2 pods. Depending on the germination, I will thin out the seedlings and keep only 2 plants in this garden, basically 1 plant per pod. That's it, the garden is ready. As always, I will add water, but I will not add the nutrition right away. I will start adding nutrition once I see the seedlings. And I will use Aerogarden nutrition throughout this grow cycle. And I will use it as recommended, which is 8 ml at every feeding cycle. This garden is all set and good to go. It's been 12 days. I see the seeds are germinated, but I don't see the seedlings yet. They're definitely taking a lot of time. It's been 14 days. I see 2 seedlings showing up in 1 pod. Both seeds germinated and the seedlings are coming nice here. I don't see any seedlings in the other pod, but I see the seeds are germinated. But even if both seeds give up here, I'm still fine because I see 2 seedlings coming up here and I can transplant one of these into the other pod. Now that I see the seedlings, I will start adding nutrition and I will use Aerogarden nutrition as recommended for harvest model. It's day 20. The seedlings are coming nice in this pod. And I see 1 seedling shown up in this pod. It looks pretty healthy. I'm pretty confident this is going to survive. Now that I see the seedling in this pod as well, I'm going to thin out the seedlings in this pod and keep only 1 seedling in this pod. Normally I thin out the seedlings pretty early, but I was not confident on the seeds here, so I was waiting. But now I see the seedling, so I can happily thin out the seedlings here. It is very confusing which one we need to thin out. Both seedlings are looking very similar. This always keeps us in some dilemma which one we need to pull out, but it doesn't matter, just randomly pull out one. Wow, it already developed a nice root system, but it came off very nice and smooth. It's day 27. Both seedlings are coming very nice, looking very healthy. Day 31, the seedlings are coming very nice. In fact, I can call them plants from now on. They started developing some side growth. It just started, but it is coming. This is exactly what I want on pepper plants. I want these pepper plants to be bushy rather than getting tall. And this is going exactly how I expect. This plant is about 1 inch tall and this one is 1.5 inch tall. So far so good. It's day 46. Both plants are doing excellent and they started flower buds. Look at this, a nice flower bud here. There are actually a couple of them, but this one's showing nice progress. The other ones are super young. Coming to the other plant, I see a few flower buds here as well. So this is excellent progress so far. Day 52, the plants are doing excellent and the flower buds are coming very nice. Now I can see the flower buds very clearly. Same thing on the other plant. I can see the flower buds here as well. This is really nice. And the plants are still very short. They are about 6 inches and they got a nice split. This is really good news. Once they got split, they don't grow tall anymore, but they will continue to grow wide and bushy, produce more side branches, and that leads to more flower buds and more peppers. It's day 62. I see the first flower on 1 plant. The other plant doesn't have any flowers yet. Somehow this variety is taking a lot of time to turn the flower buds into flowers. Now these plants are loaded with flower buds. I see lots of flower buds, but they're taking a lot of time to bloom. But anyway, this is all going very good so far. It's day 70. Plants are doing excellent. I see multiple flowers on both plants. These are the flowers on first plant and here are the flowers on the second plant. Looking at these plants, one plant is little tall here and it is very close to the lights. There is only 1 inch gap between the lights and the plant. This plant is okay. This is not that short. I see about 2 inches of gap here, but this is getting super close. So it's time to cut the tops and keep the plants short. I'm going to cut all the tops. It is simply pinching off the tops just like this. I'm going to repeat the same on all the branches. We lose some flower buds, which is totally okay. Look at this, it has some young flower buds. It is totally okay to lose them. Once the plants go out of control, it becomes even difficult. See all the flower buds. Don't hesitate to lose the flower buds. If they go out of the lights, it will become even difficult. There are so many flower buds on the plant, so losing some is not at all a big deal. And the pepper plants continue to get bushy, so even if you remove the branches, they will come up with more branches and more flower buds. So nothing to be hesitated about. I think this is good enough. Okay, one more branch here. See, this one has very young flower bud, which is even close to bloom, but that is totally fine. Look at all these branches. Every branch has a couple of flower buds. Now look at the plant. There are a lot more flower buds, so nothing to be worried about. If you grow the same plants in Bounty or any bigger model, then it would be much easier. Since I am growing it in harvest, this aggressive pruning is necessary. This plant has enough room, but still I don't want to wait too long, so I'm going to pinch off all the tops now itself. I do this all the time with pretty much all the pepper plants, so I never hesitate. We may think that there is enough room already, but just within a week they show a lot of growth and they start to touch the lights. Alright, this is looking good now, but this is not the end. I need this kind of pruning all the time, so I'm going to repeat throughout this grow cycle. It's day 79. Both plants are doing excellent. There are lots of flowers on both plants. I'm going to gently shake the plants every now and then to give them a little bit of help with pollination. I think that should be good enough. It's day 109. I see a few peppers are coming nice. One here and one here, and there are a couple of baby peppers. But overall, I see the growth is very slow. These peppers are growing very slow. I think these plants need more nutrition. So from now on, I'm going to bump up the nutrition and I will add 10 ml at every feeding cycle instead of the standard recommendation, which is 8 ml. Hopefully, the increased nutrition, which is 10 ml at every feeding cycle, is going to help these plants. Let's see. It's day 135. I see a few peppers started ripening. Look at this pepper. It is pretty small. It is half an inch or little less, and it started ripening. And this one is about 1 inch, and this is ripening as well. So the peppers are coming at different sizes and they are maturing at that size and ripening. A lot of peppers are getting into ripening stage. I can start harvesting these peppers, but I saw a couple of gardens loaded with well-ripened peppers and they look so beautiful. So I'm also waiting to get some ripened peppers. But if I really want to harvest and consume them as green peppers, they are perfectly ready to harvest. There are so many peppers. They are all developed to a nice size and they are ready to harvest. I'm just waiting for some ripened peppers. Look at this. It is pretty big in size. Oh, looks like it got some rot. Oh, maybe I need to add some CalMag. I never used the CalMag on peppers, but this is the only pepper that's kind of rotting. Everything else is very healthy. Wow, it's very surprising to see rotting on the pepper. Luckily, that's just one. Yep, it's just one, so I'm not going to worry much. I'm not going to add any CalMag. I will just let it grow like this. Yeah, all peppers are looking pretty healthy. There is only one that got rotting, so I'm going to ignore that. Alright, so far so good. These peppers are definitely not bad in any way, but they took a lot of time to reach to this stage. These peppers are kind of jalapenos. They are not exactly jalapenos, but they are very close. If I really want peppers like this, portopenos are the best for me so far. The productivity is really good and they came really fast. So compared to that, I'm not that happy, but it's okay to try something different and get peppers. But if you have just one garden and if you have to pick between Fresno and portopenos, I'll just go for portopenos. It's day 160. The peppers are coming excellent. Look at all these well ripened peppers. They are ready to harvest. So I'm going to start harvesting from now. They are looking good. Even the green ones are looking good. Very nice. I have different cases for green and red peppers, so I'm going to harvest accordingly. So this is a good growth. Not really excellent. If I really want jalapenos, definitely I have other varieties to grow, but it is definitely fun trying some different varieties once in a while. With that, it is working very well and this is a good experiment. I was able to manage these plants in harvest very well. I think it's going to go for a long time, but I don't know how long I can keep it. I'll probably keep it for a few more weeks and just give it up. There are many other jalapeno varieties I can try much better in harvest models. Alright, that is all for now. Thanks for watching and happy gardening.